Welcome to Founded Famous. I am your host, Kelly Northley. Today I'm here at B Athletics with Nick and Heather, and we're going to talk a little bit about what got them into business and any of the challenges that they faced in having their business. And I do want to mention today's podcast is sponsored by Steve Wurzbilder, so thank you, Steve.
Awesome.
If you would just tell me a little bit about what got you into owning a gym and what it was like, because you opened during COVID too, didn't you?
Yes, we were open during that time after an initial shutdown phase. I think in the beginning it was pretty scary for everyone, and kind of once we felt a comfortable way to navigate that, we made some changes to help accommodate people to still be able to get their fitness in, which we feel was really important during that time.
Oh yeah, to be able to go to a gym.
Yeah, and not just physically, but just a mental outlet for people being essentially locked up in their house, for lack of better terms. And so it gave people an outlet to get some stress relief from the situation.
And so what was it like when you first started? Like, how did you get people in and really grow your business?
So we started in 2012, we opened. We leased a space up by St. Marie Springs in like a manufacturing building. And started with around maybe 1,000 square feet, so pretty small, just a couple of squat racks and some dumbbells, nothing crazy. But then just, as we were in business longer and figuring out what worked and what didn't, we were able to steadily grow. And I think the biggest thing that's worked for us is continuing to reinvest in our business. So when we first started out, pretty much all of the money was going back into the gym to marketing, new equipment, right? And then as the membership continues to expand, you need more equipment. And so I think I can hopefully safely say after 12 years, we're finally to a place now where we've pretty much got everything that we need. I know she gives me a hard time because I'm always finding new stuff that she thinks that we don't need, but
she's going to remind you of this moment.
Yeah, exactly.
You said.
Exactly. So yeah, it's just a lot of learning. When I first opened up, a lot of business owners probably similarly, you kind of have no idea what you're doing. You figure it out as you go. A lot of things that I didn't know when I first started, I just learned by making mistakes and trying to grow from there. And
so many people shy away from making mistakes, or they think that it's the end of the world. And I'm over here like, if you make a mistake, that it's the best thing because you're learning from it.
Right, and I think that's something that it's like a blessing and a curse. What I do is if I have an idea, I tend to make a decision pretty quickly, and sometimes it works and other times it doesn't. But I'm always of the mindset that you're not going to know unless you try.
Exactly.
And so we've had class times that we've added before that we've taken away because it didn't work. We've had programs that we've tried that we've stopped, and then we've also had things that we've added on that have been a really big success. And so I think sometimes analyzing the situation too much and doing nothing can be a lot worse than just pulling the trigger and learning from it if it doesn't work out. So
right. So what got you into owning a gym in the first place?
Yeah, so I've always been active in sports since I was a kid. Football, basketball. I played football in college as well, and so I was always in the weight room. And after graduation, I had a job in construction management, had my daughter, and was like, okay, we lived in Texas at the time, I want to move back home, and I've always wanted to have my own business. And so I was like, okay, do I open a construction business or something in fitness? And happened to decide on fitness, and the rest is kind of history, as they say.
Okay, so are you from here then?
Yep, I'm originally from Brownsville.
Okay.
I went to high school in Mayville.
Yeah, not too far.
And Heather's from Fond du Lac, born and raised. So
nice. So kind of met here and decided to open the gym here?
Yeah. So we, like I had mentioned, we leased a space initially when we first opened up. And then as we grew, we expanded in the space as far as we could. And then we felt like it was just kind of time for a change and to do something on our own. Having the ownership of the land and the building has its own stress that comes with it, but also knowing that you're building equity in not only a business, but a facility and land that is yours. And it just gives you such a greater sense of ownership and also freedom to do things. We don't have to ask anyone if we want to change anything or, add stuff or take stuff away. And so it's been nice, and it's been the right decision for us.
And what you've built here is beautiful. Like, this is a huge facility. Can you tell us a little bit about what you guys offer and do in this space?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we first opened up and up until recently, we pretty much just offered group fitness classes. So the way we tell people, it's essentially personal training in a small group. So yes, there's a structured workout that we plan each day. There's also a lot of room in there for individualization for people. We have, men, women, young, old, experienced athletes, people that haven't really done anything physical in many years.
Okay.
But our biggest accomplishment is that we can really accommodate anybody.
So from beginner to someone who...
Exactly, yeah. So if you're just starting and not sure what to do, I think a lot of people's fears in the fitness world are being intimidated by not knowing what to do. You see so much information online, there's so many programs out there. And so, like I had mentioned with, trying new things and not being scared to make decisions, I think if we can just get people in the door and they can see what we offer, they're pretty likely to stay. We have probably over 30 or 40 members that have been here for 8+ years.
Oh, wow.
And so once people come, they tend to stick around for the long run, which is awesome.
And the community.
Yeah, and the community as well, for sure.
So you guys offer classes, and then you also offer gym memberships. I think you had mentioned you do personal training as well, correct?
Yep, absolutely, yeah. So like I had mentioned, we just started off doing group classes, and then as things change and we learn more about what people are looking for, we offer personal training as well, which Heather does the majority of that for us. But that's nice for some individuals that maybe aren't ready to make that leap into group classes, whether it be the intimidation factor, which is I totally get that, understandable. But it gives them a good place to start.
Right.
And then typically she'll have a lot of her clients that start off personal training, they get comfortable with the facility, they meet people when they're coming in for personal training, they get to meet us coaches and our staff, and then they'll end up joining our group classes once they have some experience.
Okay.
So that's one thing we offer. Team training, we work with a lot of youth programs in the area.
Okay.
So I've been working with the hockey programs here in Fond du Lac. Hockey's pretty big around here, so whether it be working with Blue Line, I used to go there years back. I would load up the back of my car with as much equipment as I could get, and I would drive there, unload it, work with the kids for a couple hours, load it back up, and then go coach back at the gym. And I probably did that for 3 or 4 summers. And then we work with some of the high school teams in the area as well with their athletics. And so that's usually a seasonal thing. We'll kind of get them ready for the season, get some conditioning work in, build some strength.
So are you then helping those coaches too to kind of tie in some of that behind?
So we usually have a conversation, especially in the beginning. We've gotten to know each other pretty well now, where we know what the expectations are. But in the beginning, just, hey, this is what we're looking for. This is what our kids seem to need help with, what they notice on the field or on the ice. And so that we develop a program that caters to that.
Okay.
So, while most kids, especially younger, are going to benefit from the basics, as they get older, there is some specialized training that they do. But for most kids, it's honestly, and adults too that start with us, it's let's teach you a basic squat. Let's teach you safe mechanics to deadlift. And just things like that can form a good foundation. And then as they get older or progress in our program, they can start to get a little more complex with the movements.
Yeah.
And then we also offer nutrition coaching as well. And so that's really where I feel like what's different with our program is there's facilities where you go just to work out. You can hire a nutrition coach, whether it be online or at another place. We kind of do all that under one roof. So if you're looking to align your workouts with your nutrition and then the accountability aspect we offer as well, with the relationships we form in here, we know when you're not here, when you say you're going to be here or what program you're on. And so we'll reach out to you. We'll make sure that you're showing up at the gym. Consistency is probably the biggest thing.
Do you do that? You reach out if they're
not
not
absolutely.
here?
Yep. So we have some software that helps us with check-ins and things like that. But, if we see someone in the gym and they haven't been in for a couple of weeks, we give them a little bit of a hard time and just, in a fun way. But, letting them know that we notice people and we know when you're here and when you're not here, and just as a way to encourage them, like, hey, we do care, you do matter. It's not just walk in the door, do your workout and leave. And that's, like Heather mentioned, the community aspect of it. Everyone knows everybody. Everyone pretty much knows whose kids are doing what sports and what school they go to. And that's a really awesome aspect of our community here.
Right, and it's not something you get at a home gym. Like if you stop going to your home gym, no one's going to yell at you, right?
Exactly. And you know what? Credit to anyone that does work out at home. I've tried it in the past when if I'm busy here all day long, I just need to leave. I just can't do it. She did it for years. But someone that can work out religiously at home, my hat's off to them, because I do think it's one of the most challenging things. Hey, I'm gonna start my workout at 6, and then you throw in a load of laundry, or you go cut the grass, and then you're like, I'll get it tomorrow.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, 2 weeks or a month go by and you haven't done it, so.
I feel called out. We have a home gym, and I'm like,
I feel like,
yeah,
a lot of the stuff people can identify with, and it speaks to that. You know, a big part of our program, you know, you might look at some of the videos of the workouts we post online, or some of the posts that we make about people's fitness journeys, and it can be really scary and intimidating looking in here and seeing a ton of fit people. But trust me when we say, like, no one starts like that. Right. Everybody starts somewhere, and just getting over that initial fear and you know, critique of yourself and insecurity is like the first step. Right. So when we meet with clients that set appointments, they come in and like, listen, you've done the hardest part already. You've reached out to us. You're willing to come in here and talk to us. And that's the hardest part, we feel like, for most people.
I agree. Yeah. And then you get them on a plan, and they get really involved.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. We start them off. We usually give people, if they're on the fence, we'll give them a couple intro sessions for free, just to feel the community out and the workouts before they commit to anything. Because the last thing we want to do is sign someone up and have them on board, and they're like, I don't know if I really want to do it. So we always make sure we do our job in the qualification process, as well as like, okay, are you a good fit for here? Are we a good fit for you? Right. And just making sure that we're all on board before we sign up for anything. Okay.
So what does it look like for a new person to come in and sign up at the gym or to get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So Heather does most of our initial consultations. Okay. I would say she's probably more approachable than I am at first glance for a lot of people. And she's just really good talking to people and getting to know kind of where they're coming from and what their history is. You know, Heather had young kids when she first started out at the gym and worked a full-time job, and so her only option was get up at 5 a.m. and come to work out. Yep. She had babysitters that she would arrange to come work out, so she definitely understands like the mom situation where it's like, you know, my kids are my life and I don't have any time. And she's a good testament to like, if this is something you want to do, we can find ways, or you can find ways to make time for it. So she'll do the initial consultation. We'll give them a tour of the gym. And then typically we like to ask people to try out a few classes, like I mentioned, just to get a feel for it. You know, group fitness class isn't for everyone. Some people prefer personal training. We've had clients that we've personal trained for years, and they just have no interest in group classes, and that's fine, but at least they're doing something, right? And so once they try those first few classes, we'll be talking with them through the process. When they're in our group classes, we'll chat with them, we'll make sure they're comfortable, introduce them to everybody in class before they get started. Okay. And then from there we talk about membership options. We have a few different options where people can start, and then that's kind of where our accountability process takes part, where it's like, hey, you signed up a week ago, how's your first week going? This is what we're looking for. And then we just keep a conversation going over time. And like I said, letting people know that we genuinely care that they're here, and not just pay a gym membership and show up when you want to or when you're motivated.
Right. So the accountability process is huge here.
Yeah, and I think that's something too, you know, online you see all these motivational videos and people in the gym crushing it, but it's not like that every day. So you have bad workouts, and for a lot of people, they might have more bad workouts than good workouts, but it's the fact of showing up and just putting in the work over time is always going to win out.
Right, and that motivation to show up because you know other people.
Yep, and then the motivation turns into a routine. Yep. And once you have it in your routine, I can't tell you how many members we have that used to say they hated working out, and now they schedule their day around working out because they enjoy it so much, and they're like, I've never been a workout person before, but this is totally different than anything I've done, and I truly look forward to my time here. So it's really cool to see that mindset change in people, going from a task that they just have to accomplish during the day and check off the list to something that they make a priority, and that's cool for us to see that change in people.
How long do you think that takes to happen?
Depending on the individual, I think anywhere from maybe like a month to 6 months. Okay. Some people you can see right away, they're all in. Yeah. Like even in the consultation, she's told me, so she'll meet somebody here and then she'll either come back home, or if she has to stay here, she'll call me or we'll text, and she'll be like, so-and-so all in. Gonna be a great member from day one. Or she'll say, hey, you know, might need to work with them a little bit. They're really scared about, they've never done anything like this before. And so just once we get that going, I would say like 6 months at the most, but it's usually pretty quick. Like,
It's pretty quick.
like you can tell.
You must have a really great environment just based on the things that you guys
Yeah,
are saying and what I've seen.
Right, we have
Great members.
We have
Yeah.
great members. Like the people are great. We could bring somebody in here that was new, and just put them in a group session without even saying anything. People go up to them, introduce themselves, ask them about their family, ask them what they do for work, and from day one start building that relationship. And it makes it so much easier for them to come back in because they, hey, I met Bill yesterday. He said he's going to be there Tuesday. He asked if I'm going to be there at the same time. And so that helps us out as owners. It takes a lot off our plate as well because our members are so helpful. They'll help people get weights out. They'll help them with their technique a little bit if we're busy with somebody else. And so it's just a great community of people that are all here for maybe different reasons. Maybe it's weight loss or gaining muscle, but they're all just here to try to improve themselves a little bit, which is, at the end of the day, all that matters.
Yeah, I agree. I've heard really great things about the gym, so
Appreciate
sounds
it.
like you've made a really good community here. So
Yeah, it's taken time. Like I said, we've made a lot of mistakes. We're always trying to implement new things. One of the things we've recently done is we've added 24/7 access to our facility. We've added commercial gym equipment. So not only, like I mentioned, obviously the group classes are like our main thing, but if there's people that just want to lift and do their own thing, they can come here and do that at any time during the day, which is a really nice addition. We've had quite a few people. You know, there's other facilities in the area and they've been around for a long time and they just get busy.
Yep.
And they feel like they're, you know, whether it's waiting for machines or, you know, the crowd they don't vibe with or whatever it is. So this gives them a place where they can come and have the space and freedom to themselves to do what they want when they want to and not have to worry about, am I coming at a rush hour during the day? Am I going to have any equipment to use? And so it's been a great addition for the gym as well.
yeah, can you imagine going to the gym and you're like all hyped up to go and then the equipment that you wanted isn't? Oh, I can just feel the soul crushing
Story.
of
Yeah.
that.
You know, someone's sitting on a machine on their phone for
Yes.
5-10 minutes. Someone actually told us once that they were waiting for a machine and it was getting to be a long time, so they like timed it on the clock, and it was like 7 to 10 minutes between work sets that someone was doing. They're just like, yeah, I just can't.
Yep.
I just can't
It's
do
not
it.
your vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Was there anything else that you'd like to add or share with us about having the gym, or any challenges that you guys have faced that you can think of?
I think, you know, the challenges probably aren't that different that any business owner faces.
Yep.
There's stress all the time, right? There's definitely benefits of owning your own business, but there's cons as well. And so stress, whether it be, you know, financially from month to month, because at the end of the day, we're responsible for what comes in and what goes out. And so knowing that does put a little bit more stress on you, but I think it drives us and makes us work harder because we know at the end of the day, we can't rely on anyone but ourselves.
Right.
And so that's obviously a challenge, or one of the challenges that we face. With some of the programs that we implement or some things that we take away, you know, you can't make everybody happy. And so sometimes we do things and we hear rumblings of so-and-so dislikes or doesn't approve. But at the end of the day, we have to be going the direction that we want to go as business owners. And I think that's what important is, to keep our vision on the forefront and not let anyone deter us from that. I think what we've done in the past has proven that I think we're headed the right direction, and we only have plans to continue to grow and, you know, reach out. Within Fond du Lac of 40-some thousand people, there's still so many people that we feel like we can help and want to work with. And so also the challenges of just getting your name out there. I mean, I'm sure there are still people in Fond du Lac that don't know where we are,
Right.
that we even exist, or what we do. And so just continuing to try and do that, whether it's working with different marketing agencies. We've had business coaches for over 5 years now, where we're constantly consulting with other business owners that have been here and done this to try to learn from some of that so that we don't continue to make as many mistakes. But, you know, it's not perfect. We have our good days and we have our bad days, and just being patient and trusting each other and trusting what we're doing. As long as we keep that, I think, as our focus, we'll be okay.
Yeah. Sounds like you have been so far. So
Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate you guys allowing me to interview you and chat with you about the business and learning about it. As I said, I've heard really great things about it. So
Absolutely, we appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time and coming in today.
Do you want to try a class?
Yeah.
I would, yeah, that would be fun. I am the gym at home workout person and have been slacking a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
And we've got locker rooms and showers and everything
Yeah.
you need to do. We have quite a few people that come early in the morning or even over the lunch hour, hop in the shower and then head to work.
The lunch hour is common. I could never. I don't think I could come to the gym and then have to do all that again. Ugh.
Yeah, that's, like I said, with the home workout people doing that too in the lunch hour, I'm just like, get it going in the morning, knock it out, and then kind of be on for the rest of the day. But there are individuals that come to our evening classes that are like, I can't imagine waking up and working out in the morning.
Yep, everyone has
Never, no chance, could never do it. And so that's, that also plays into the flexibility that we have with our schedules. Our main hours are open before work and after work, because that's when most people are going to be here. And then we're open on the weekends as well. And so, yeah, just giving as many opportunities as we can to, reach out in Fond du Lac. Sometimes, I know there's a lot of businesses, and I'm sure it's in other towns this size, in rural areas. It's like, it's not always easy, and Fond du Lac is what it is. And I've seen many restaurants come and go, and and I don't necessarily know that it's a Fond du Lac program. I think from what I've known about some of the businesses that don't make it, the owners a lot of times aren't bought in. They're not there. We're in the trenches. We're in the trenches every day. We're here. We're with everyone. I could see how very quickly, if you weren't hands-on, that things could get away from you, and it would be hard to stay on your mission and stay successful. But also, to the testament of Fond du Lac, though, there's quite a few businesses that do have loyal customers, and every time we go there, we see the owners there.
Yep.
They're on the floor working, they're serving, they're working with people, and I think those are all a good recipe for success, is being invested in your business and continuing to have the passion. I know there's many days where I wake up at 4 a.m. and sometimes I wish my alarm doesn't go off, but I truly love what I do, and we're both passionate and enthusiastic about helping people, and I think that's, at the end of the day, as long as we maintain those core values, I think the sky is the limit for kind of what we want to do and where we want to go with this.
Yeah, I agree. Couldn't have said it better. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. We appreciate you coming in today. Hopefully we can spread the positivity of health and wellness in the city of Fond du Lac and get some more people in the door and see what we have to offer. For anyone out there that's watching, 3 free classes if you want to sign up and do a trial. Just want to throw that out there.
All right.
Heather will meet with you, answer all your questions that you have, and we'll get you started.
Excellent. Thank you. Appreciate it.